You want a man for president who's seasoned through and through, but not so doggone seasoned that he won't try something new. A man who's old enough to know
and young enough to do.
Well, it's up to you, it's up to you. It's strictly up to you. But it's Kennedy, 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 Kennedy for me. Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
What is the most important issue confronting the American people in this election campaign? There's no question about the answer that I have found in traveling all over this nation. Above everything else, the American people want leaders who will keep the peace without...
Richard Nixon, Eisenhower's vice president, easily secured the Republican nomination with the promise to retain American supremacy. He was seen as the more skillful candidate and was ahead in the polls following the national conventions. He was well versed in foreign policy and was known to have the most experience. He wanted to combat unemployment by offering education opportunities to minority groups and cutting taxes to stimulate economic growth. John F. Kennedy, due to his youth and religion, was initially the underdog. He was 43 years old and Catholic, but the public liked his image as a family man. His wife, Jackie Onassis, became an iconic household name. Kennedy advocated for economic growth at a 5% annual rate and achieved this goal without inflation. He wanted to improve the standard of living in America by increasing taxes for national security and public service.
Cheers! Cheers! Oh, that Kennedy fella is just so handsome. Tell me about it. Harry's voting for him in the election.
No, no, no! Nixon's gonna win the election. Roger says he's ahead in the polls, whatever that means.
Well, all of the program that Kennedy is implementing are going to cost money, so I don't really know where that money's going to come from, and it's not coming out of my pocket.
I have to agree with Peggy here. I really want that house in the Hamptons, so we're going to need the money.
The first and most influential debate was held on September 26, 1960. This was significant because it projected a lasting first impression of each candidate to the voting public. John F. Kennedy's father was involved in numerous projects in Hollywood and advised him that his image on television was extremely important. Besides, JFK was young, handsome, and extremely telegenic. He had just come back from a vacation and glowed with a healthy tan, while Nixon was hospitalized a couple days before with an awful flu. His dark gray suit blended in with the background of the set, and he seemed pale and weak.
I come out of the Democratic Party, which in this century has produced Woodrow Wilson and Franklin Roosevelt and Harry Truman, and which supported and sustained these programs which I've discussed tonight. Mr. Nixon comes out of the Republican Party. He was nominated by it. And it is a fact that through most of these last 25 years, the Republican leadership has opposed federal aid for education, medical care for the aged, development of the Tennessee Valley, development of our natural resources. I think Mr. Nixon is an effective leader of his party. I hope he would grant me the same. The question before us is, which point of view and which party do we want to lead the United States?
Well, I would suggest, Mr. Van Oker, that if you know the president, that was probably a facetious remark. I would also suggest that insofar as his statement is concerned, that I think it would be improper for the President of the United States to disclose the instances in which members of his official family had made recommendations, as I have made them through the years, to him which he has accepted or rejected.
So, ladies, did we all see the debates?
Oh, yes, I heard them on the radio, and I think I'm going to vote for Nixon. He seems like he'd be a really good president.
You crack me up!
Well, Peggy dear, that's because you can't afford a television set.
Well, ladies, I heard it from the kitchen when I was making Roger dinner. Nixon's gonna win.
Well, Kennedy's got such a nice complexion.
Such a winning smile.
Please control yourself.
Oh, honey, you know I cannot when I think about men with money.
Before the debates, Nixon was ahead in the polls by 1%, but the television debates gave Kennedy a large enough following to push him ahead by 4%. By no means did it guarantee him the presidency, but it certainly made him the popular candidate. Kennedy ended up winning by 0.17% in the popular vote and slightly more comfortable 16% margin in the electoral vote.
You're having an affair with Joe!
I'm gonna stick like glue, stick because I'm stuck on you.